Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Chris Clark Podcast Show. Listen, we have a awesome show for you guys today, this week. This show is phenomenal. We are talking about, are men needed in the house, especially in today's generation? Are men needed in the house? We hear a lot of talk about, independent women. They holding it down, holding their own, holding down the kids. Even in some relationships, the women making more, than the men. We're asking the question, are men needed in the house? I have two special guests, two, good friends of mine. One I've known for a long time. The other one I've known for even a longer time. We just real excited. Before we get into it, we do want you guys to follow me on my social media platform. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Clark Comedy, Twitter and Snapchat at Comic Chris Clark, and also, I'm on the new, social app Clubhouse. You can follow me on there at Comic Chris Clark. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chris Clark, Entertain. And if you forget all that, just go to my website, Chris Clark Comedy. I got the links to all my social media handles on there. So go to my website, sign up for the newsletter, and stay connected. This show is brought to you by Chris Clark Entertainment. That's right. Our motto is to educate, inspire, and entertain through the arts. So for plays, comedy shows, skits, dinner theaters, and virtual shows, contact CCE at ChrisClarkProductions.com. All right. Like I said, we are talking about the topic today. Are men needed in the house? I want to introduce my guests. First we have Mr. Blair Jackson. He's a man of God, husband of 4.5 years, a father of 3. He's a singer, songwriter, and an actor. He's the head of his church's youth ministry and is associated with Asteroid Music Productions. And then we have Mr. Everett Branch. He's the owner and founder of a life adversary company called Piece to the Puzzle. He's a husband of 13 years, father of 4 boys, a licensed minister of the gospel, and a member of Spirit of Faith Christian Center under the leadership of Pastor Mike Freeman. And one of his favorite slogans is, I hope this peace gives you peace. Y'all put y'all hands together for my guests, Mr. Blair Jackson and Everett Branch. Give it up for them, y'all. Welcome, fellas. Welcome. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man? What's up?
That's good. Blair, how you been, brother? How you been?
I'm yet holding on.
I see you.
But I'm good, man.
I see you got the biker's beanie on today. Where the Harley at?
Hey, man, look, it's out back, man. It's out back.
I got you. Everett, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? How you feel, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Blessed, man. Yeah, how the family?
Yes. Doing good, man.
Good, man. I see you doing your thing, too, man.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Keep it holy in the hood.
Yeah, keep it holy in the hood. Either way, I'm laying hands. So, fellas, listen, I'm excited to have y'all on the show today. We're just going to talk about this hot topic. I've seen it on social media, on different social media platforms. I've seen different videos, where people are discussing, are men needed in the house. We got, women, which is nothing wrong, who are making more than their men. They're the, breadwinners, or they're the sole providers of the house. They're doing their job, taking care of the kids, taking care of the home. And, the question flares up, are men needed in the house, especially in today's generation? So I want to ask you, Blair, I'll start with you. Are men needed in today's generation's household? Let me get your answer on that.
Absolutely. I really believe that, we are in a generation where, fathers are definitely needed to be in their children's life.
Mm-hmm.
I was more importantly, black fathers. me being one myself, especially with everything that's been going on in the world.
Yeah.
This past year alone, it's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I believe that the fathers not being able to, if a father wasn't in the home, I don't believe that a mother really would be able to explain and the pain behind birth. Of course, you know what I mean? Like, she feels pain for losing a son, but I feel like the pain that a black man, what he goes through, I don't believe that could really be pushed out from a mother. I mean, she can definitely let them know what she saw or what she's possibly been in a situation with another black man that was happening or something that was going on. But I don't believe that she would really be able to exemplify what really is going on in this world today if it wasn't for having that father or that fatherly male figure in the house. And that's just in my opinion. Like I said, taking nothing from it, because you can coming from a man who was raised by a single mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I just believe that there were those critical moments, and there comes a critical time in a son and a daughter's life where they really need their fathers. So that's my take on that.
Nice. Everett, what's your take on it? Are men needed in the house, especially in today's generation? What's your answer and why?
Definitely. I think the father is very much needed in the house, based upon what a father does to the house, what a father brings to the house. You can see a house, you can actually look at a house and can tell if a father's not there. Then you look at another house and you can tell a father's in there. For the simple fact of we bring order. There's a reason why our voices are deep. I think it's designed that way for a reason. And this generation, I think a lot of people are becoming more of like, since it is the way it is, we good. I got to deal with it. Trying to look at it on a, you know, the bright side of things, I guess. But it doesn't mean that should be that way.
Right.
I was also raised up as a single, you know, my mom was a single mother raising me, and my father actually died when I was 10. So being a father of 4 and then I could actually look at my life and see, man, how things would be if I actually had that father in the household. So that's, I think it's a huge key. They bring affirmation, they bring order, they bring discipline. And they actually bring more of the other side of a vision. And I agree with Blair wholeheartly for the simple fact, only a father can explain certain things. Like you know, a mother or woman can say certain things. And that's fine to the point of their effort, but the perspective of actually living as a father, no one can explain it but the one that actually experiences it on a daily. So yeah, I believe very, very much the father's needed a home more now than ever.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I didn't know you both were raised by single women. I'm also a single woman household too. That's crazy.
Wow.
So
That's
I
great.
guess us three are testaments that you can come out okay.
Oh, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I definitely, I agree with both of you, because I feel like, you know, even looking at my household, you know, I have 2 boys and a daughter, and it's just, I want to be that example, especially for my daughter, to see how a man is supposed to treat his woman.
Right.
You know, what to look in a man, a husband, and also just show my boys, you know, what a man's supposed to do. Like you guys say, how to respond to certain situations, how to handle situations, how to walk, how to talk. And that's something a woman cannot teach. You know, I don't care how manly she look or act. You know, she's not a man, and she can't a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. My mom tried, and even it got to a point where she knew she couldn't. And I had uncles, my father, he was in and out, of our lives growing up. We didn't see him a lot, but, we knew who he was. So yeah, my mom, she always taught me how to treat a woman. She taught me how she wanted to be treated, or how I should treat a woman when I get a wife or a girlfriend. This is how you should treat them. So that is what, a woman, taught me. But to actually, go know what's going on in these streets, especially like Blair said, as a black man,
Right.
especially nowadays, it's like we getting shot every other day. But now, it's being filmed. I think Will Smith said that. He said it's been going on. It's just being filmed now. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
we got the weight, of the world, and also, the weight of a household, which actually brings me to my next question. Do you feel what's going on in the world? Everett, I'll start with you. Do you feel what's going on in the world to us as black men affects us in our houses?
Yeah, in two ways. And, I could say good and bad. For instance, let's start with the bad so I can end on a good note, right? So, I think.
Yeah, hit us hard and then pamper us.
Right. I think, as far as the black man go, I believe there's been like a exposure of a weakness. Not saying we weak, not saying that we are like not enough.
Right.
But to realize a situation you in, and to know far as where you at financially, far as where you at mentally, far as what mistakes you did, like you might have acted a certain way before, but now you seeing things are opening up of exposure. You're probably going on of an apologetic type of way, like, man, all that I did and whatever the case may be. So I think there was a smack in the face of where you are personally, right? And on the flip side, it was a wake up. On the same thing, it was a wake up till you have to do this, you have to do that. This world, I think, exposed a lot of things that people thought they were complaining about, and it's not a complaint. This is something that was real.
Right.
And to the point where you cannot ignore it. And now we're in a position of confidence where we could say things and not apologize or pull back. It's like before you had to kind of watch what you say. In a sense, not me, but just generally speaking, but now,
unapologetically
like,
black.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it. I got something to say, and I'm going to say it. Boom. This is how you're going to take it. And I'm not going to apologize for it.
Right. Yeah. And I definitely agree with you there, because I feel like, especially, I think that's mainly happening because we're tired. You know what I mean? We're tired. And once you get tired of something, you don't not necessarily don't care. You just, you get fed up and you just like, look, it is what it is. Like y'all need to hear me out. I'm frustrated. Especially us black men, we have a tendency not to share feelings. You know what I mean? So we don't like to talk. We might share with brothers, us as brothers, but we'll crack jokes and we'll walk away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Things like that. But, I feel like, especially like back in the civil rights movement, it was a lot of black men on the line. There's a lot, on the line and they marched, especially with Dr. King and, you had Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam and things like that, which was, the violent and nonviolent type thing. And, the Nation of Islam, they was more violent because they was fed up. The white man, the white devil.
Yeah,
you had Dr. King preaching nonviolent, and, we shall overcome and hope, and we got to drive hate out with love and all that. Right. And now, this generation, I think it's more like, man, forget all that love stuff. Like, right. We ain't our ancestors. We're ready to throw these hands now. Come on now. Like, cause I personally, and Blair, I'm gonna let you get to the question, but I get upset, watching this stuff, and sometimes I don't watch it cause I don't want to lose that energy I have. I might be happy for the day. There's certain movies I won't even watch because I know what the story is, and I'm just tired of being upset. I'm tired of looking at this, even though I know what's going on in the world. I'm raising two black kids, two black boys, a black woman. I see the police brutality, and I'm just like, God, you need to protect me because my temper. I get pulled over by the cop, and I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather have a ticket than get shot. So, whatever lie you gonna make up, just go ahead and give it to me. I'd rather, not be shot or be a hashtag, and I just pay this ticket. So, but Blair, let's get your answer on this. Do you feel what's going on in the world to us black men affects us in the house?
I don't think I could have said it better than Everett, man.
He's a philosopher.
He hit the nail on the head, man. It's so crazy how we can go from one extreme to the other, and it happens so fast. Because I feel like the switch was literally flipped right when Trayvon Martin and all that stuff kicked off. You know what I'm saying? Because you saw a white man get away for killing a black man, and there was absolutely no reason behind him getting killed. Then you got, I can name all names, but my thing is,
it did flip with Trayvon, but not to cut you off, but it flipped with Trayvon, but like I said earlier, I think we got tired with George Floyd.
Yep, with George Floyd, right?
George Floyd.
Exactly.
George Floyd, it was like, all right, enough is enough. Trayvon Martin, it lit the fuel, lit the fire.
It lit the fuel. Like, basically, I feel like it turned it on, and that baby heightened everybody's awareness. But like, enough was enough when it happened to George Floyd.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? To actually see something happening to that man, and you see him around struggling. He's telling you he can't breathe. Get your knee off my neck. He's laying on the ground. You got 3 other guys holding him down. There's nothing this man can do that's going to stop you. Yet and still, he lost his life.
Yeah, he called for his mom too.
Exactly.
And his mom was dead. His mom is deceased.
His mom passed. She's deceased, right? Yeah. So when you think about it and you try to bring it on, how does that affect the home? It's like you said, do I want to be a hashtag or do I want to just take this ticket? You know what I'm saying? We want to teach our children to speak their minds, to not sit on something when something is right. You know what I mean? To be able to speak up when something is going against them and it's unlawful or it's unruly or it doesn't feel like it's supposed to happen. But nowadays, we get into a situation, if it wasn't for the new cell phone technology these days, being able to record and capture certain things, we would be in a world of mess. Yeah. Because we would never know what's going on when, like I said, if our children are in and they leave in this house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I said, if it wasn't for the pandemic, everything that was going on, and if I were to be leaving my house every day, I feel like my wife probably would be praying from the time I left to the time I got home, and she wouldn't let my son go. You know what I'm saying? And it's just only on the strength of you never know what's going to happen. And the crazy thing that happened one time, and I live out here in Deptford, New Jersey, and I'm literally probably about 5 minutes from the police department. Not even. Like, I could literally go out my house, make 2 turns, and I'm at the police department. I'm coming down the block one day, and this is not too long after Mall Aubrey. too long after that. And I want to say it probably was like a week after he was killed. And, you know, everything was going down. I'm coming down the street and I'm literally coming across, there's a Walmart, it's an intersection, and I'm literally riding past the police department. As I ride past the police department, a cop pulls out and he's coming out of the police department's parking lot and he pulls out onto the street. Now, mind you, this cop, I don't know who this cop is, black, white, indifferent, but I'm under the impression now that every cop that gets behind me is white. It just got to that point that I'm feeling that way.
Nine times out of 10. 9 times out of 10 it is.
It is.
You know, but, so I'm riding and this cop pulls out behind me. Now, mind you, I know a cop pulls out, but the crazy thing is this cop did not turn his lights on. And when I'm not talking about the red blues, I'm talking his headlights. He followed me. Literally, I want to say for my total entire time home, he followed behind me with no lights on.
Wow.
Now, you tell me how you would have reacted to that. There was a couple things that came across my mind, right? I had to, and the crazy part is that I had to think about me being a father and wanting to come home to my kids and everything. But you tell me, like, one of the things I wanted to do was pull over the car. But if I pull the car over, this cop stops me and I got to sit there and I got to think about exactly, what am I going to say? Why am I pulling over? You know what I'm saying? And it was just a lot of emotion that went on me. But all I know is that when I got to the house, I pulled into my driveway, and the cop just kept going. But it was just the fact of, like, first off, why don't you follow me like a regular cop? Because if that was the case, I would have just acknowledged the fact, okay, a cop is behind me. Do what you got to do. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing nothing out of the ordinary. But it's just the fact that I had to, you know what I mean? Like, that fear that came across me.
So how did that make you feel once you got home? Like, how your reaction to your family? Because I know, a lot of times the man can't express himself in the streets. So when he come home, sometimes he takes his frustration out on his family. So with all that happened to you, how did that make you feel when you got home? Like, what was your attitude like? Your demeanor?
It was crazy, man. It was just like I told you, the emotion that was come over me is like something that I couldn't shake. You know what I mean? I sat down, I talked to my wife about it, and it was just like, yo, imagine what would have happened had I reacted the other. Like, what if I would have pulled the car over? Like, what would have happened? You know what I'm saying? And it's that's why it just, I don't know, man. You hug your kids a little bit tighter. Hug my son even tighter. You know what I'm saying? My son is only 2 years old. So it's just like that emotion and knowing that there's nothing guaranteed when you walk out this house nowadays, or even getting pulled over by the cops for people who are supposed to be serving and protecting us. You can't even guarantee that that's going to go the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's scary now, man. It's I mean, it's scary. Like you shouldn't be trembling or, in some cases, people crying when they get pulled over by the cops, and the cop like, hey, what you crying for? Like, I don't want to die. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I mean, what I do, as soon as I get pulled over, I automatically take my license and registration insurance card out before he even walked to the car. So when he get there, here, I mean, whatever excuse, cause it's your word against mine. You know what I mean? So whatever lie you gonna make up, cause I done got stopped so many times. I think a couple times it would have got ugly if my wife went in the car. I remember one in particular time, Everett, I know you probably know this, off of 55. Exit 45, like going from Glassboro. that exit 45. Me and my wife was coming home from a Sixers game, seeing LeBron when he was on the Cavs Sixers game. And you know, right before when you get off that exit, it's a stop sign. And then, you know, you make that right and it's a light right there. I pulled off and you know, it's not even a quarter mile. Like if you walk, it's probably like a minute.
Right.
As soon as I pulled off, he pulled me over, said I was speeding. I didn't even get to the light. I was halfway to the light. I pulled off, and all you heard, and I'm like, what the heck did I do? I'm thinking maybe he was on 55 with me, and he followed me for 8 miles, cause you know how they lie. Oh, I followed you for 8 miles. You speeding back 8 miles back. Why you ain't stopped me 8 miles ago? But yeah, he said I was, and my wife was like, she grabbed my hand, was like, just calm down. And then the thing was, and I told her, I said, he seen a black man in a nice car and he didn't think I had registration. All my paperwork was good. I had no points. I had no whatever them things called, anything, points on my license or nothing like that.
Like
no
warrants.
Warrants. I had no warrants. My record's clean and everything. And he let me off with a warning. Talking about slow down. I'm like, how slow you want me to go? You want me to walk? Want me to get out and walk and push the car? So yeah, man, I got story for days.
And I'm like, yo, you about to have me come with my story.
I got story for days, bro.
One thing, yo, that's crazy about it is like I got one story, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But like, what's crazy about it is, like, they ask that question, "Is this your vehicle?" Things like that, and it's like, the one thing I realized, yo, and this is what I don't know if people understand. Like, the black person is traumatized.
Yes.
For you to pull up behind me and I clench, like when I pull over, I literally roll all my windows down. I don't care how hot or how cold it is. I roll all my windows down, front and back, hands on same thing. I pull up my license and all that good stuff right there where I ain't got to reach it. Even when he come, I let him know what I'm doing. Like, all right, I'm about to get my license. To me, it reminds me of a woman that's home and when her abusive husband come home. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's home, she's cool, but as soon as he rolls in a driveway, she clenches and looks to see if everything's perfect. Like, you're not even free no more. So it's like, when he get behind me, don't get me wrong, like, I walk by faith and not by sight. Period. But at the same time, being raised up as a young man, I was pushed to the wall when I was younger, 15 years old, by a police officer. Again, when I was 17 years old, I had his knee was on my neck before, and I was like 16. This was in Millville.
Wow.
And then, like, but for you to cringe or for you to worry or for you to feel any type of negative emotion, that's trauma, yo. Like, you're traumatized.
It is traumatizing. And I think it goes way back, and even tying in to our topic here. I feel like, they're trying to take the black man out the house. And that goes back to slavery.
Oh, man.
Where they sold away the black man and took him away from his wife and kids. And then, it got, maybe the early 1900s. The black family was strong in the early 1900s and even during civil rights, it was strong. And then
the hood was a good place. It was a nice place.
Yeah. And then, then you got to the point where, they start taking jobs. They start locking us up. They put crack and cocaine into the neighborhoods, in the 80s and the black man became a drug dealer, cause it was fast money. Now all the black men going to jail, now the black men, a lot of black men are turning gay. They're putting that in the system. So it's
backbone.
It's all about taking the black man out of the house. And, and they're brainwashing our women, and anybody listening, I'm not saying that, y'all need us, you know what I mean? Cause, you know, a woman can be independent. They can do their own thing, but it's nothing stronger than husband and wife household. Right. Nothing is stronger than that. Bringing up your family. Blair, I got 2 brothers on here who all their kids are by the same woman. Right. You know, including myself. And they're married to their kid's mom too. So it ain't just my story. It's Everett's story. It's Blair's story. Even though our kids are different ages, you know, it's still our story. I think Everett been married 13 years. Blair's been married, going on 5 years. I've been married for 12 years. And we're sitting here telling you that, you know, we are needed in this house and men are needed in this house, but the society and the world is telling us we're not. They're trying to make, because they know what would happen. Like Everett said earlier, you can tell the difference of when a father's in the house and when a father is not in the house. And the world sees that. So they want the father out the house. That's why they're messing with us out in the street. So when we come home, we can not have time for our kids or abuse our women, take our frustration out on our family or stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's going on. Y'all want to say anything else on that question before I move on?
No, I'm good.
No, y'all good. Yeah, this is getting good, man.
It's getting good. But I'm over here containing myself.
I know, man. Hey, this is my show. We can go as long as we want, brother. Say what you want. All right. Next question. Blair, I'll start with you this time. Do you think men are loved for who they are or for what they can do? Now let me tell you where I got this. let me tell you where I got this from. I was actually watching the Chris Rock special, and he said this, and it kind of like, I'm like, oh, that's hot. I like how he said it. He was talking about he said in a joking way, he was like, men, they don't really care about us. They just care about what we can do. They judge us about what we can do and not who we are. You know what I mean? You know, they just want us to pay the bills or fix the sink or something like that. But once we can't provide, we're useless. You know what I mean? So that's where the question came up. You know, are we actually loved for who we are? You know, for our personality, our looks or whatever, or we're just loved for what we can provide, what we can do for the family.
Man, I believe that shit can go a couple of ways.
Why you whispering, brother? Your wife next to you. Blair got real low.
Yeah.
He got real low. Yeah, you know, I just want to say that,
because of where I'm at.
I'm messing with you, man.
You know what I mean? But, but I believe that can go a couple of ways because I believe that, y'all can hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I believe that it can go a couple of ways because I believe that women probably fall in love for what a man can do. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of increases who they are. And I can kind of elaborate on that because I believe it is true for a woman to love him just for who he is. You know what I mean? Because in a relationship, you ain't doing nothing in a relationship when you first start courting your woman. You know what I mean? I believe that the opening the car doors and, you know, the taking them out, paying for the dinners and doing the small things, that they like us to do or that, I believe that men should do for their women that they love or that they really want to be with. But I believe that women are looking at men to figure out what can you add to my life. I already know, sex is one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I can get that from anybody. You know what I'm saying? What kind of value are you adding to life? And I believe that's usually where, you know what I mean, if kids ain't already happened, quote, by accident, but before they decide to give a man a child or decide to really want to go through holy matrimony with that man, I believe that what they can do and the value that they bring, I believe that kind of in the whole in itself gives it the reason. You mean, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Performance?
Well, not necessarily performance, but
Okay.
I feel like what they can do kind of, and it gives them that edge to figure out like, yo, I really want to spend the rest of my life with this man. But think about it. Women, when they're growing up, they're thinking about the wedding. They're thinking about, oh my God, no, it's the children, because women are natural nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when they look at a man, they're trying to figure out like who it is, or naturally they try to model their husband after what their father did for them, or how their father was to them. So it's just like, in this, I really believe that what they can do weighs heavily on how they love you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, like I said, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I believe that a man should be bringing something to the table just as much as a woman should also come to the table, and not expect everything from a man. But that's just how I feel about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Everett, do you feel men are loved for who they are or for what they can do?
For what they can do. Period. like.
Go ahead, brother. Mean, don't hold back. Don't hold back.
So, and I'm talking about every aspect.
Yeah.
I can guarantee, if I ask you how y'all got y'all woman, it was based upon what you could do. Like, you know, as far as I'm a Christian saying back in the day, you was doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Blair didn't know that. You ain't had to tell him, man. Blair ain't know I was in the R&B group by myself now. He ain't know.
Man, oh man, I'm gonna leave the nickname.
Nah, you good.
So, I believe it's off what you can do. I think they grow to know who you are, but it's what you can do. Yeah. Like, you know, if you look at any, that's the first, when a woman checks a dude out, even when he steps up to her, she looking at his gear, sneakers, car. That's what you, like, if you don't have this, what they say, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's what it's all boiled down to. And I'm talking about every aspect, as far as money, as far as taking her out somewhere, as far as experience, as far as sex.
Yeah.
Cause there, I know, a few couples that actually broke up for of what he could do in the bed. Like, if you can't perform in a way of giving me an experience, like if you look at women, this one, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I know.
They want you to fall out for them. That's what they want.
Like, hey, if you ain't working in the bedroom, you got to go. That must have been the only thing he was good at the time.
Yeah, like, you get what I'm saying? Because after a while, that gets
it gets old. You need some new tricks.
Old. Right, you gotta do some, but at the end of the day, they looking at what you can do. You know, and what type of job you got? What's your plans? What you plan on doing? Because I really believe, like, you could love a woman, and the way they're designed to just automatically support a good dude. Like, it's generally speaking,
right?
We know we got these type of other women out here and all that stuff, but generally speaking, a woman just responds. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep it straightforward. They love you for what you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, we might get lucky. They might like us for who we are. They might like us for who we are, and what we can do. But, I think Blair touched on a little bit, women grow up, thinking about the wedding and, the house, the kids and all that. So, they're looking for who can provide me with that. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's why you get all these, what they call them, gold diggers that go after the ball players. It's like, I know he might be cheating, but I'll be financially stable. And then when they get with him, they're trying to get pregnant because, all right, if our relationship don't work out, I can still get paid and not work for child support. That, man, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that irks me to the bone. Me and my wife actually had a conversation about this, couple weeks ago. I was talking about, what's the alimony? We was talking about alimony, and I said, I don't think nobody should get alimony. I said, if they're an able-bodied person. Granted, if me and you grew together and, we built this multi-million-dollar company, you know, you was with me, you didn't work. Yeah, you should get your cut.
Right.
But that's it. I shouldn't have to pay you, an allowance. That's exactly what it is. An allowance every month, until you decide you want to get married again. Cause I think that's when alimony stopped, when they get married to somebody else. I was like, that don't sit well with me. And it's not just a man thing too. It's a woman thing because, Mary J. Blige, I know her she got to pay her ex-husband alimony. And I'm like, how are you as a man?
That's that weakness. That weakness.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you taking money from a woman that works hard for her money, and you're an able-bodied man and you don't want to work no more. Cause you know, he not going to get married again. He going to play around, you know, exactly. and she got to pay him for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? I said, I really got an issue with that. But, you know, to go back on our topic, you know, what we was talking about is definitely, you know, what we can do, like Everett said, sexually. You know, cause but I think it's more financially than sexually, because a lot of women will deal with a man who can't perform in the bed. But if he got that dough, you know, we good to go. You know what I mean? But if you ain't got that dough and you can't perform in the bed, then, you got to go.
I agree. I'm 100% on that. It's one or the other. It literally is one or the other, because if you can't provide, what are you good for? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, 'cause I feel like if you can't provide, but you bring in something, but you lay in that pipe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause,
it'll stay quiet for a little bit.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know what the thing is, and that's what men do. Say if generally speaking, I gotta keep saying that word. Generally speaking.
Call them out.
If the woman's upset, like most men will like go into the bedroom, do your thing. She ain't yelling no more. Mm-hmm. Even if she's yelling about something legit. Yeah. So, but you know, going back to it's about what you can do.
Yeah, it's definitely about what you can do. And women, y'all need to stop. You know, we want to be loved for who we are. Y'all want us to love y'all for who y'all is. Love us for who we is, because sometimes we might get down on our luck. We might need that encouragement. And you know, and we need that helpmate. We need that person that's going to pick us up. Not as soon as we fall. Like,
you with me, but
cause I do a joke, and, you know, it's so funny because a lot of people are like, yo, so true. I'm like, I do a joke called like versus love. I said, I talk about my wife. I said, my wife, she don't like me. I said, she loves me, but she don't like me. Then I go into how, you know, you can, remember back in the day when y'all was in the like phase, and you can call your woman up any time of the night. She gonna pick up on the first ring. You can call her 3:00 in the morning. She gonna pick up. I said, then when she fall in love, I like, you call her 8:30 at night, you know, she catching the attitude, like, what you want? Like, you know, but she loved you. You know what I mean? And, you know, the crowd, they be laughing for like, yo, that's mad true. I'm like, yeah, I say, yo, you don't fall out of love. Once you love somebody, you always have love for them. I say people break up because they stop liking each other. I said, they stop liking each other. You know what I mean? I said, once that like is gone, I said, you know, all the thrill is gone. Like, man, I don't like, you know, I said, 'cause you can always love people and not deal with them. Like I have loved ones and friends I love to death, but I don't like them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. Their whole aura just throws me off or makes my vibe unbalanced, and I got to stay away from them. So I have to love them from a distance. You know what I mean? So I still have love for them. I just don't like them. Let's go to the next question. Why do, this is a good one. Everett, I'll start with you. Why do society feel like men can't take care of children?
Wait. This is the part I was like, when you say take care of, are you refer like,
as far as, all right, I'll break it down to you like this. You and your wife get a divorce. 99% of the time, she's going to get the kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So why do you feel like, the women always get the kids over the men?
One thing I like, to the nurturing part of a woman. Like, there's some things that a woman is going to be detailed to that a man is not going to be detailed to. Like, I'm laughing because I'm thinking like an example, yo. Like,
I can give you an example. I'm gonna tell you what, my kids will never go to the doctor if it was up to me. They wouldn't even know who a doctor is because dad ain't taking you go lay down somewhere. That's what I'm gonna say. Listen, bro. They wouldn't know who a doctor is, a dentist is. I'm like, look, thank God for your mom, cause she'd be like, yeah, I gotta make the kids a doctor. Boy, I'll be looking at her like, what? Oh yeah, all right, yeah, you go ahead and do that. Doctor, who that?
Doctor.
No, I ain't seen a doctor in 10 years. That's because I had to get a physical for a job. That was it. Man, I'm gonna sleep it off. That's what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead, go Blair.
No, I'm about to say, you really got me thinking about the last time I went to the theater.
Bruh, like, yo, when they say men take care of their cars better than their bodies, it is true. I'll be out there tuning up. I got a white truck. I call her Betty White. I said, I'll wipe her down. I'll shine the tires. Bruh, I ain't been to the doctor. Like, I ain't been to the doctor in years. They be like, who's your primary care? I don't know. Pick one.
I don't know.
I don't know. Give me one.
Yo.
I don't know who no doctor. Yo, I know my kid's doctor. I know my wife doctor. Like, who your doctor? I ain't got one. Like, I'm gonna sleep it all. Go give me some Advil and a bottle of water, and I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yo, that's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Like, we not gonna do the details.
We not.
Yo. Even when I take my kids to the doctor, and I'm trying to take them to the doctor. When I'm there, like I'm there, but I'm
not there.
I'll be sometimes in my phone like,
yo, Everett, the doctor be like, Dad, did you hear that? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get my wife on the phone. You can tell her. Let me call my wife. Yo. You tell her on the phone because she good with this stuff. Like, I don't know what these big words is, bro.
Yo, bro, that sounds like me to the
That's
team.
100.
But yo, I had my daughter, I hope she'll hear this, but my wife had to work and I had to take my daughter cause, you know, when she first started going through womanhood.
Yeah.
And the doctor talking to me, I'm like, yo, I don't want to hear that. Like, nah, let me call her mom and I'm gonna step out. You can talk to her and like, nah, this ain't dad thing. I ain't know we was doing this. I thought she was getting a shot. I didn't know we was gonna talk about this type of stuff. I'm not comfortable with this. Yo, my kids, I'm telling you, my kids would not see no doctor, dentist.
That's why, yo.
They wouldn't eat.
Why. I don't think I gotta say no more. Cause like, even if they're hungry, like, I'm going to get you to feed yourself.
My favorite lines, whenever my wife takes them to the doctor, they come back, I just be like, what they say.
Like, and you gotta say it like you concerned. I'm really not concerned. I don't care. What they say? She be telling me what the doctor said.
I really gotta figure out I gotta remember what they said. Oh, they said, he alright. He just,
he alright.
Flat-footed.
He flat-footed. He a little overweight. He alright though. He just got to drink some more milk.
No more bread or something.
Oh man.
But that's why, like women are more nurtured. They're more detailed. They're more into the whole
when it comes
every
to
little thing that. Because far as growing up,
yeah,
I think at a certain age, they should transition to dad.
Yeah,
and like it is like because it's some things after you get the nurturing part, like even now, like I do my kids. Like my youngest is 12, so I do more now because I feel like her part is over. Like we both there. So when you talk about separating, far as why men, for that reason, I think men should be able to take care of the child, putting in care
at a
after
certain
age.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Go ahead,
that.
Blair.
No, I say I definitely agree with Everett on that. You know what I mean? I believe that the mother is more nurturing, and she's going to, like you said, do certain things that we just won't do, or should I say that we will just fall short on. Not intentionally, it's just because we don't give the care that it requires. And it's not saying that we can't learn either, but it's just that in that essence of that moment, that's something that they do naturally. I believe that, again, agreeing with Everett, that later on in life, as like the teenage years, you know what I mean? When I'm experiencing certain things, I believe that's where the male voice is going to start becoming a little more prominent. You know what I mean? We instill it discipline-wise as they grow up, but it becomes a little bit more prominent in life because later on, because it's just that now they're learning things. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like sons. If we have a son, like I have a son, he wants to start to learn how to do things at like that 10, 11, 12 age. You know what I mean? To be able to start doing things like start him out like, yo, take that shout. Here's how you pull the trash to the curb. All right. You know what I mean? Here's a rake. You're going to learn how to do these leaves. You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing the boat work at that point, but at the same time, you're going to learn so that as you get older, this is going to become your job. Same thing with women. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure that my daughters know how to change their own. They're going to know how to change their own brakes.
Right.
Because those are necessity in knowing how to keep your car on the road when nobody's around. So you're going to know how to change a tire. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that women, and they won't teach. That's something that they won't teach. Again, not intentionally won't teach, but it's just something that they won't think to do. They'll say, call AAA or call the roadside assistance. I need to make sure that my children are equipped with certain things that they should know when it comes to life. You know what I mean? And handling the things around us. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things I think, like I said, those later years is where I feel like we become more important, especially like our sons, because ain't no woman going to be able to tell how a man is at a certain age or why we feel a certain way, or, you know what I'm saying? I believe that that's our job to do that. And as daughters get older, they really start to cling to their fathers a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that we need to be able to have those conversations when they come to me. Why is he doing stuff like this? We need to be able to explain, hey, baby, that's just how I'm, you know what I mean? And break it down to him, you know, but I just believe that that's where we kind of strut our stuff in the later years. You know what I mean? You know, if a divorce was to happen in the age of 1 to like 6, yeah, we in trouble.
Yeah, but I feel like, with both of you answers, that shows the need of men in the household, because we bring balance. Because I feel like even though, at a certain age, they might need us more, but it's kind of hard to not control, but to get to them at a certain age, because they feel like, oh, you wasn't there in my earlier years. Now you trying to show up. Now you trying to be a dad. So that's why I feel like it needs to be throughout the whole life, even though we're not needed as much in the early stages, but just your presence, just to show you're there, you care, or whatever here and there. It kind of brings balance. So when that time comes where I need to teach you certain life lessons, you're able to listen. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that balance is really needed. Cause my oldest son, he's 12. He'd be 13 this year. And, he follows my footsteps. Everything Dad does, he do. The way Dad talk, he talk. Now he trying to be a clown. I'm like, all right, son, it's an art to comedy. You being borderline disrespectful now. You know what I mean? So it's he's soaking up everything. That's why I always got to watch what I do, what I say, how I react to certain situations, because I want him to see that you don't have to always be violent when it comes to handling things. Then sometimes you got to protect yourself.
Right.
I remember I always teach my kids don't fight, don't start the fight, but finish it. Right. You know what I mean? Don't be nobody's punk. But always protect yourself. And he got in a fight in school. He beat the brakes off the boy, but the little boy, and I know my son, that's the thing, where you have to be consistent in your kid's life, because you have to know them. And if I didn't know him the way I know him, I'd have been all up on him. So when the school called and I went up there, had a meeting with the principal, I was on chill, because I already knew this kid had to really do something to my son for my son to hook off on him, because he's not like that. He's not a starter. He's not an instigator. He's not rough around the edges like that. So, and then that's what it came down to. The little boy kept messing with him, kept egging him on, and he hit him with I think he said a trapper keeper or something. And my son went to work. Gave the little boy a concussion, It was like the principal, the assistant principal took me to the side. He was like, yeah, he beat the brakes off that little boy. I was like, I said, yo, I'm not even mad at him. He did what I told him to do. He was like, yeah, but he ain't had to beat him like that. I said, but I defended my son. I was able to defend my son, saying that, and, he was crying because his thing was he was going to get in trouble by mom and dad. So when I picked him up, I was like, nah, you did what I told you to do. You defended yourself. You cool. Just look at this as a 3-day vacation. Like you gonna be home chilling, playing your video games, do your schoolwork that your teacher sent home. You good. You ain't in trouble. You ain't on punishment. Right. You know what I mean? Exactly. So, like I said, I say all that to say you got to know your kids so being in their lives consistently, especially like y'all said, when they get to a certain age where they need you more than ever, when they start to become a man, you'll be able to they'll be able to accept your advice. Right. Even more. Moving on to the next question. How is today's generation of men different from the OGs, the men of yesteryear? Like, are we getting softer? Oh, man. Now I say that, I'm saying, do we get softer? But I do want to say this before y'all answer. I'm very happy and proud of today's generation of men. I will say that because, going Everett, me and Everett went to Gold Town School, Fairfield Township School. And growing up, when they had stuff, a lot of our fathers wasn't there. It's either our mothers or, like our grandparents, aunt and uncles, whatever, but our fathers wasn't there. Like, I can't even think of anything my father ever came to. I think he came to like one baseball game I had and that was it. But, my kids go to the same school, and when they have stuff, like, it's actually more dads than moms. And a lot of them are not even together. Not even together. But you see the fathers, you see the uncles, the grandfathers, you see them, they showing up. Like, I don't know what switch it was, but man, it's a beautiful thing, man. And, just to get back to our question, Blair, I'll start with you. Today's generation of men, how are they different from the OGs? I mean, are we getting softer? Are we getting more sensitive? Cause,
you know what?
Is that why we in our kids' life like that? We get sensitive?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I don't believe we're getting sensitive. I just believe we're getting creative. What I mean by that is that we had to back off because of diapers. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you can't beat your children because, you know, they go to school and all of a sudden they say those words out their mouth. You got people knocking at your door. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not knowing that makes it worse for the child, but at the same time, you know, it's just that we can't do what used to happen back in the day. Like what they used to do to me, I used to get punished by having to stand up in a T position with my arms out like this and have textbooks in my hand.
Bro, me too.
I had to stand
Everett, Mr. Devano class.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like I was doing wall, literally. Yo, I was doing wall sits when I was like 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been athletic. But my thing is nowadays.
That's why you got them strong legs.
For real.
Like, that boy kick like a horse.
But nowadays we can't do none of those things because they look at it as child abuse.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because it's just like we find creative ways, you know what I mean? And technology being what it is. Oh, let me take your cell phone. Let me take this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we got to get more creative because I feel like the world is so advanced now. There really isn't anything that we can take away from children that breaks them away. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't even want, like I said, I don't want to say we got soft. It's just that like the world changed. And it kind of put a halt to the way we really discipline our children. Now, mind you, that don't really from beating your kids, but it's just the way you beat your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of going to grab a belt, you just hitting their hands. You got to hit them where they don't bruise, and the bruises show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, but that's why you got to get them when they can't talk. Cause when they talk, all you do is gotta look at them. They stop. See, bro, I need to teach a class on that, yo. Like, that's why you got to be in their lives the whole time. Look, bam.
Man,
it is. There's levels to this, man.
My kids know. As soon as they say something, I look.
Bruh, yeah.
And they know.
Cause it's like that. It's like that. Like my wife, in my house, I say my wife set the rules and I'm the enforcer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like she wants certain things done. And I make sure they get done. I'm gonna force them. Like even, like they'll test my wife before they test me. They won't, but they really don't even test me. But they'll test her. And my wife will be like, "I'll tell you, Dad, let's straighten up." You know what I mean? Because I got them when they was young. So now when they getting old, that level of respect, you know what I mean? Like that level of fear, not fear where, you know, they're scared. They like when Dad. Like Everett said earlier, when the husband come home and the wife trembling, not that type of fear, but that fear, that respect fear. You know what I mean? Like that fear of we show God.
They don't want to let you down.
Yeah, they don't want to let me down. They want to show respect. So when I say, hey, go wash the dishes. Okay. You know what I mean? Not, Mom said, go wash the dishes. Oh, Chris? All right, I'll wash them. Like Kevin Hart said, you are something else. You are something else.
Give me them dishes.
Give me them dishes. I'll wash them. But yeah, Everett, let me get your opinion on the question. Are we, how's today's generation of men different from the OGs? Are we getting softer?
Yeah, I don't think we're getting. I think what we miss I think when you miss something when you're younger, I think you kind of bring it up more when you get older. Like because of the lack of fathers, I think we want to be better fathers because we know what it felt like.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
And I think that enforces the like, I'm not going to be like that. I remember a lot of things that I do. It was always backed up with, I'm not going to be like my dad. I'm not going to be like my dad. So it's like, you have to get sensitive. Cause I was the type where, you know, getting a belt was like, give me a belt, get a belt. Even my wife was like, you getting a belt too much. You getting a belt too much.
Me too.
Right. She's like, you can't do that. Like, and especially if you're mad and things like that.
Everett, hold on. You know, you sound like, Joe Jackson. Remember on the Jackson 5 movie? When, who was it? Angela Bassett played the mom, Katie, Kathy or something. She's like, no, Joe, stop beating him. He's like, Michael, Joe, you can't beat him no more, Joe.
Get him on that kitchen table.
Man.
That's what you sound like. You're like, all right, you getting the belt too much. I had to tell you that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's real. You can't. That can't be your first answer. So
I'm guilty
because
of
I
that.
was raised. I'm gonna say it because I was raised. That was like the only thing I knew, right? And after I grew up, I had to learn how to like. All right, you can't just do that, man. You got to have these talks. You got to sit down, stuff like that. Whatever.
See what they.
You got to be more creative. That's
like,
yeah. And you gotta be more creative. So I don't, so as far as men being sensitive, so
it's hard, bro.
That's okay. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't care. Hold on. I'm about to say it like this. Listen.
Go ahead. Say it.
I think we're more wise to do certain things. But because of the lack of the father, I think there's certain things we ain't get. There's some things I learned in my 20s that I should have learned when I was 13.
Right.
As a man. So I think, there's some things I think we do that we shouldn't do. Like, I ain't saying, like, we all do it, but, as far as how much you complain, like, as a man, if you complain at a certain level, you can make a complaint.
Right.
But it's like, okay, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
It's certain things I think we should be able to handle more if daddy was there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think we're sensitive. I just think we're just showing some time of some certain missing pieces.
Yeah.
Overall, I think we became wiser to do things different.
Right.
Because we had these conversations. And I think we're actually bringing up a greater generation than before because of the time we spent with them. We didn't get those times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Say that even the father that was in the home back then, he didn't really spend real time with his son. He worked all the time, this and that, or whatever, like you said earlier.
Yeah, came home, got the big piece of chicken, went to sleep.
Yeah, that was it. Don't get on my nerve, whatever.
Leave your father alone. He's watching the television box.
Even my father figures that I had father figures, but even them, I couldn't spend that much time with. It was like a quick conversation. So I believe that affected us a lot.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I think we're wiser. I think we became wiser on how we do things.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with both of you, and I really agree with the wiser because I think we mentioned earlier about not for us not having a father in our life, we didn't want to be like that. We wanted to be in our kids' life. So we're using all the tools that we can to be creative, to stay active in our kids' life. We're definitely more active. We're more involved. Cause dads will always be the fun parent. Sorry mom, sorry ladies, but dads will always be the fun parent because there's always still a kid in dad. Just last week, I think if y'all see my Instagram post or Facebook or something, I was playing Nerf guns in the house with my kids. Like, that was like the best time for them. Where was mom? In the room on the phone. Not saying it's a bad thing. That's just not her thing. That's dad thing. You know, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? But you know, being involved in our kids' life, knowing how I feel not to have a father, that's in the house daily. And sometimes I catch myself and I just look at my kids, you know, cause in my house, we all have to eat at the table together. Like that's a thing. So I know a lot of people think, when Thanksgiving come around, special, oh, the family get around the table. Like that's every day for us. Every day, whether we order takeout or home cooked meals. Well, we do a lot of more home cooked meals, than takeout. You know, gather around. Let's talk. How was your day? What's going on? Any questions? You know what I mean? Things like that. Just to learn your kids, man. Just, they're actually interesting people. Like my son to this day talks to me about Fortnite. I don't know what Fortnite. I don't know how it works, but you would never know the way I talk to him. Oh, word. Yeah, dad. And then, you know, I had to build this and you know, and the steps and all, and the tear it down. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy, man. That's
right.
You know, my other son into Minecraft. I don't know what it is, but I act like I do. But then when it comes to doing things for them, I know what their interests are without actually talking to them, you know, cause I watch them or they talk to me. So I listen. I think, you know, like y'all said, we didn't come, softer, we become wiser because we become better listeners. Just better people. And I really think, more men today are becoming better nurturers. That's why, going back to the last question, I think even though women, you know, we laughed and joked and stuff, but you know, women are naturally nurturers, but I think more men are becoming more nurturers. And to that point is because we've been raised by single women. And I feel like that's a big factor of why more men are becoming more nurturers, more understanding. You know, we still got that man mentality though. We don't quite have it to the women where we're becoming feminine. But it's making us better people, better fathers, better husbands. You know, cause we want to understand. We want to know, you know what I mean? The men of, the OGs of yesteryear, you know, it was, oh, I want to hear about that stuff. Oh, here go the check, pay the bills, buy some food, cook me dinner. I don't want to hear about your day. I don't want to know nothing, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's now, you know, we're actually not necessarily talking about our feelings, but I think the listening part is the most important. You know, just being an observer, you know what I mean? I think that's a big key to why, this generation of men are different from, you know, the OGs. Before I go to I'm going to go to one more question, but before I go, I got a quick commercial break. This commercial is brought to you by Ashley Buttercup. She is a painter. She has a series of visible history paintings of unsung black heroes such as Shirley Chisholm, Odetta, Garrett Morgan, and more. To see some of her work and purchase a painting, visit ashleyButtercup.com. Ashley Buttercup will be my guest, next week for the, Black History Month, my first guest. She's an awesome painter. Me and her had actually, my, Clark's Custom Apparel and her painting. We have a collaboration with the Visible History. She paints it and I put it on apparel like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. So y'all can go to her website, ashleyButtercup.com and, check it out, man. And, you know, she also has paintings for sale. We got a couple in our house. She's a dope artist out of New York. All right. So I go to one more question. Everett, you almost hit on this question. I'll just say the question, what can we do to better ourselves as men and better the next generation of men? Everett, since you
That's a
talked
good
about it,
question.
we'll go with you.
So I think what we could do is better as men. It's like an iron sharpens iron type of deal. I think we need to connect more with one another because we relate a lot when we come together and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could talk about some things that would actually you're able to confess, you're able to get help, advice, insight. So I think as men, we can get better based upon us connecting more and being honest, like, and not just coming together saying, "Oh, that was fun," or going out hunting or paintballing or whatever. I think the conversation and then you not being ashamed of open up like how you feel. This is the part when it's not sensitive. This is simply you opening up and being honest on how you feel.
Right.
Like, dude, this is what I'm going through. So I think number one, connecting with one another. Like, even this right here.
Yeah.
Attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here from
Definitely.
Both of y'all.
Definitely.
So I think that's a big key. And for the next generation, it's like they're watching. They're always watching. And I know we could say spend time, but you said something crucial. Is when you talk about how you talking to your son and you was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but I acted like, not saying you acted like it, like you was actually giving him that that you're interested.
Yeah, that assumption.
And I think that right there. Right. So I think get interested in the, not trying to change them into who you think they should be in the sense of where you think they should go.
Right.
But like still in principle, but getting interested in their life. Like not just being there, but when they talk, actually show that, yo, I'm here, I'm listening.
Right.
I think that I think that's another major key.
Good. Blair, what can we do to better ourselves as men and better the next generation of men?
Everett said it again. Hit the nail on the head. I mean, just choosing circles wisely. You know what I mean? In order for you to be better as a man, you got to be surrounded by great men that's actually doing what you want to do or aiming for where they're trying to go, or basically just trying to better themselves. You want to surround yourself with people that are trying to move forward, not somebody that's staying stagnant.
Right.
That's one. That's how we better ourselves. But the next generation, you got to kind of get them understanding that life always going to be peachy keen, but getting them to also understand that life can also be great if you work at it. Because it's going to take working every day. I mean, teaching them the things that we stumbled upon and that we messed up along the way. You know what I mean? Like credit. You know what I mean? How do you manage and keep and maintain good credit?
Right.
Certain life choices, how to kind of teach them how to people, just basically kind of educate ourselves, but then also educate them so they understand exactly what it is. And at the end of the day, we got to allow them to make decisions on their own. And sometimes, and I hate to say this, but sometimes you got to let them fall. You got to let them fall because you have to be there for them to be able to pick them up and give them the understanding on why they fell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we're not perfect. We will never be perfect. But I believe that, like Everett said, that you do with your children, if we stay in their lives, we participate and we have those conversations and we understand our children, it's going to make it a lot easier for them because they'll make the right decisions. And if they don't, they'll be able to understand what happened in the decision that they made because we'll be able to have the conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's literally how I believe that we'll grow as men ourselves and better the next generation. Nice.
Yeah, I definitely, I agree with both of you. I was on JT Burke's. He has a show, and and I was on a guest on the show, and he asked me a similar question. What I said was, we have to be, in order to better the next generation of men, we have to be present. We have to be examples. We have a tendency of always saying, well, like the saying goes, don't do what I do what I say do. And I'm like, that don't fly with this generation. Because we're telling them to do something that we're doing. I said, so we have to be examples. We have to, we have to better ourselves. We have to live right, treat our women right, be present for our children, be better, men in society. And, the kids can see that. They'll watch that. Like I said, my son watches my every move. A lot of times I don't say nothing to him. He just watch me. You know what I mean? Or this what dad do, or this what dad do, or this how dad fixed it. So I'm going to do it this way. You know what I mean? So they're watching. So we have to watch what we do and what we say. So we lead by examples. I think that we can better our next generation. And we also have to give them another way to go. A lot of them are in these streets because that's the only thing they know. So if we tell them there's better things out there in the street, we have to tell them what the better things are. I'm in the entertainment business. I'm a comedian. I'm an actor. Everybody don't have to be a drug dealer. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a ball player. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a correction officer. You know what I mean? I know that's a big thing around my area. Men, they want to be a correction officer or a truck driver, which there's nothing wrong with that. Believe me, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't have to do it. Like nowadays, you can make an honest living pretty much doing anything. I started during the pandemic, I started a custom apparel thing. I'm making good money. You know what I mean? Obviously comedy went down because, a lot of places were closed. So God still provide by giving me another idea and allowing me to be good at it and be consistent at it. While I'm still able to provide and take care of my family. And instead of me parading it all across the street, all up and down the street, I'm showing example. Oh, Chris, man, his comedy went down, but he started something else. He started another business. He's his own boss. He make his own hours. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He found another way. That's what I want to do. Not necessarily being a comedian or, I might want to start my own podcast. You can make money at podcasting. There's always money, everybody video ain't going to be viral. You know what I mean? Which you can make money at making little videos. There's plenty of kids making millions of dollars by, just, talking about items. Like companies are paying them just to talk about their items because they have a lot of followers. So there's different ways to do that. And we have to show our youth, especially our young black men or men of color that, you don't have to be a statistic. There's other ways, even though our back's against the wall, there's other ways and other things that we can do to make an honest living, to take care of ourselves and take care our family. I know I said that was our last question, but this question, I really want to end with this. Everett, we'll start with you. It's just, what is the best advice you receive, from another man about manhood? And we'll end with that.
The best advice I received about manhood, about being a man.
Strap it up.
This was this was it was oh my God, Tyrone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Felicia's husband.
Yeah.
So one day he said, let me pull you to the side. And I was younger. I was younger. And he said, man, look, you have to organize, you have to bring order to your household. And he said, it's like, don't be afraid to look like the bad guy. Cause I didn't want my kids to not like me and stuff like that, whatever. I wanted to make sure everybody was good and things like that. So passive was a part of my character at one point.
Yeah.
And one thing he said, you're not the bad guy, but you can't be afraid to look like the bad guy. You have to know that the decision you're making right now, they're going to thank you later. Mm-hmm. You have to look past what you see today. That what you're doing today, they're going to see it later. That was one of the biggest advice because I saw the stress that was on my wife at that point. I saw it sounds like things are fun at one point, but the chaos that was there that I was used to was going to affect my kids in a way where the world will run right over them. Wow. So it was like you love your kids.
Right.
So imagine you putting order on them and you love them. Mm-hmm. When they go into the world and that world try to check them and they don't love them, that's a whole nother thing because they don't care what happened to them. Mm-mm. So you have to understand that you coming from a love and you have to bring order. Bringing order to my house and from Tyrone and was one of the best advice.
Wow.
I got.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Blair,
that's real good.
What's the best advice you got from another man about manhood?
I'm gonna be a whole 100% honest, man. I've gotten a lot of advice, and it wasn't like manhood advice. Because my father passed away when I was in 8th grade, so I was about like 12 going on 13. And a good portion of where my father was living, he was going through because he had a stroke and he had lost his hearing. So a good portion of my childhood, I had a father who had no hearing. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of find a way to communicate with him. So I wouldn't necessarily say I toned a lot of other men out, but it's just that the father figures that I took, basically, the main one was my grandfather. But my grandfather basically always used to talk to me about managing my finance. You know, basically stating that, like, you can't do something. You want to do this, you want to do that. But if you don't have money in your pocket, you're not going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, financially, he's what kind of helped me learn how to take care of my family. And I guess what I'll go with, one of the things he always used to tell me is that zero can't be broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you walk around and you're broke as zero, you will never have money. So I had to, as a kid and growing up, I had to kind of start setting my bar and, like, you know, got to the point where, all right, when I got down to $25, I was broke. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, all right, now $50. Yeah, that's my broke. If I got $50 in my pocket, yeah, I'm broke. I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
I ain't got it.
You know, so now I'm starting to, as like I said, being where I'm at as a husband and the situation that I'm in currently right now, where being the major breadwinner of the family, I look at like anywhere from like $150 to $200 is my broke. You know what I'm saying? Because now I got to start making like, all right, what if we got to take the kids to like urgent care? That's a copay.
Right.
What if we got to do this? What if we got to do that? So I started doing things in a different, and I'm just trying not to let zero be my broke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Worst case scenario, if something happens, okay, if it happens, it happened. The mentality now is to never let it get below a certain point. You know, so that's the best advice that I could think of. You know what I mean? That I received. I mean, because I had men try to instill things into my life, you know, about women and treating them right and all that stuff. But that, I mean, that was like one of the things that just resonated with me. Is like, yo, don't let zero be your bro. Because if you need to take care of your family, you got to have money to do it.
Right.
So that's what I got.
I definitely agree with that because, I said with my bank, I set a mark where if it goes below this certain limit, I get an alert on my phone. So I know, all right, Chris, you need to make some moves.
Right.
You need to push on weight. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm just like, the best advice I got wasn't actually words. It was action. Looking at my uncle, my favorite uncle, you know him, Willie Holden. Just watching him, grow up because he was like my main father figure, you know, besides my older brother. Just to watch the way he, took care of my aunt, the way he interacted with my cousins, the way he treated me like a son. And I wasn't his son, but, if you didn't know our situation and I was with them, you would have never known that I wasn't his kid by the way he treated me. The way he got up every morning, went to work, the way he, you know, made sure his family was taken care of, the way he was at his, every, sports event that his kids had, whatever his kids was into, he was there, whether if he was into it or not, he was there. Always with my aunt, like they're like in Everett, they're like inseparable. When you see one, you see the other.
Right.
You know, just watching him, and I kind of, imitated that, when I became a man, you know, taking bits and pieces of what he did and some of the other male, figures in my life. But mainly him, just how, you know, he's not an affectionate man, where he's, touchy lovey and all that. But he shows his love through action. And, you know, I you know, am like that to a certain extent. So yeah, just watching him. And I think that's, why I am the way I am today, where I'm more of, I'm gonna show you rather than tell you type of person. In everything that I do. And I got that from him. So that was, the best advice I got was, action and not words. So, man, that's our show, man. I appreciate you guys, man, being on the show, man.
I appreciate you having us.
Yeah, so,
thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. We had a good time. We laughed. We got some good information. Some good, resolutions. So, before we get out of here, just tell the people, Blair, we'll start with you. What's next for Blair, and let the people know, you know, where they can find you, to stay connected with you.
Okay. So what's next for me, man? I'm doing I'm trying to get into a lot of stuff. I'm in the process of, trying to write a screenplay with my brother over there.
Yes, sir.
You know,
we ain't trying. We doing it. We doing it, brother. We ain't trying.
We working on this screenplay.
Yeah.
Acting wise, I hope to get into a lot more stuff, a lot more scene work. I know me and Chris been talking about this for a long time now. So hopefully, you know, once this pandemic and everything dies down and get a little bit more comfortable, we definitely want to connect a lot more. I'm hoping to do more plays, musically.
Nice.
Musically, I'm working with, my production company that I work with called Asteroid Music Productions. So, we hope to release another single or so this year. We already have 2 singles out. You can actually check them out on, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere where you can download streaming music. By the way, the 2 songs are called Straight Trippin', and the other one is called, On Guard. It's called On Guard.
You
straight stepping on guard.
You gotta send me that. I can
could definitely
play some on the podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, you know, in the meantime, in between time, I'm a gamer. So you can probably catch me on a game. I actually stream live on Twitch.
Okay.
Twitch, so it's
what you Xbox, PlayStation?
Xbox
right
now.
Man. You might gotta see me in Madden now, you know. Ain't nobody beat me yet now. It's just, and I don't play for free. I just want to.
Let me break it down for you.
Okay.
Listen, there was a summer that I didn't work. And I ain't have to as a Madden and 2K. I'm gonna just leave that there.
Well, you ain't running the big sexy, so you know. I just wanna. We'll talk. So let the people know your social media handles so they can.
So my social media handles on Facebook, facebook.com/thatdudeblizz. So that's ThatDudeBlizz. So that dude Blizz, literally how it's spelled. Instagram, you can find me on the same handle, That Dude Blizz. Twitter, you can find me at Blizzy2120, BLIZZY 2120. And if you ever want to check me out on Twitch, I'm at twitch.tv/ it's GMB. I run with a squad called Grown Man Business. So GMB _ That Dude Blizz. Literally just like that.
Okay. Nice.
So
nice.
That's it. That's me.
All right. Everett, what's next for you, and how can the people find you to stay connected?
Next for me is a few weeks I got my book coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. Finally done, packaged, all that good stuff. It's about sex.
Oh, you know I'm buying it.
Right. And honestly, we helping out the married people with this one.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's coming. And it's scriptures and everything like that, whatever. I got an online course that's going to be coming out, to help people to actually build themselves up in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And, finally getting back to my music. So I'm working on a single.
Oh, you
rapping
coming
again? Up. Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
Hey, you gonna go back to his servant?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah. I got nah. So those threes are hitting, and you can find me at what I do morning motivations and late night self-evaluations, like I'm on IG and on Facebook. So on IG, you can find me at Puzzle to Peace. That's the number 2. Puzzle to Peace. But the peace is PEACE.
Okay.
All right. And you can find me on Facebook page, Peace to the Puzzle. Once again, the peace is PEACE to the puzzle. Not the number 2, but the actual word, TO. To the puzzle.
Okay.
And Twitter, Peace to the Puzzle again, or P2P, P the number 2, letter P on Twitter. So that's where you can find me at.
Nice. All right. Y'all got their social media handles. Y'all stay connected with my brother Blair and my brother Everett. And y'all know y'all can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Clark Comedy, Twitter, Snapchat, and Clubhouse at Comic Chris Clark. And my Facebook page, chrisclarkcomedy.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter and stay connected with me. Man, it was an awesome show, man. Again, I appreciate Blair and Everett being on the show. And thank you guys for listening. Y'all stay safe. And remember, God is love. All right. Peace.
Peace.